got memos in my vocabulary. Rolling with the punches, I'm roving and jumping. Dealing with the problems, I got to be coping. Making it fit, and I click just like a Lego. I'll be Casio, but you can be tackled from the FBI to the CIA. I'm clearing out the path from here to LA. I be from C-Town, kicking the roof down, ripping up the mic and way past sundown. As a world turn, as a world turn.
And we are back with another episode of Prospects of the Land. And we have a big one today, ladies and gentlemen. Now joining the pod is a man from Glendora, California, who went to the University of California, San Diego, who is now one of the newest additions to the Cleveland Guardians minor league system. Left-handed pitcher, round 18 pick, ladies and gentlemen, Izaak Martinez. Izaak, how are we doing?
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for having me out here. This is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Izaak,
sure, man.
let us be the first to say, welcome to Cleveland. And I know I know you're in Arizona at the complex right now, but what does it mean to you to get drafted to an organization like the Cleveland Guardians?
Man, it's a dream come true. I know prior to the whole draft situation going up, I saw that Cleveland has been historically one of the best programs to develop players and, bring really good talent climbing up the ladder to the MLB. And I mean, when they gave me the call, it was a no-brainer. So had to take it. And this is just the beginning, but I'm super excited.
Well, we're going to talk a lot of baseball with you today, but I want to talk to you about Cleveland first. Do you know a lot about Cleveland? Have you ever been to the city? I know you're a guy that went to UC San Diego. You're familiar with the Pacific Coast. Are you familiar with the Great Lakes at all?
Yeah, very little, but I'm very excited. I have some family friends that are from Ohio, and they said a bunch of great things. So I'm super excited to eventually climb my way up and enjoy the beautiful state of Ohio. But yeah, not much experience, but I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you're going to get to play some fun branded baseball. Cleveland also is one of the unique minor league organizations. Everything is kind of within what I'm not sure of the exact mileage, but most of them are in the state of Ohio. You got Lynchburg just in Virginia. Yeah. So you're going to be staying pretty close. You're going to get to know the city well. Welcome.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, I mean, just got drafted. What are we doing in Arizona at the moment?
I mean, trying to survive the heat. It was through my first pen today, and I was melting. I usually throw in long sleeves and try to muscle it out, but man, it's a different type of heat. It was like 108, 110. It's been upwards of like 115 over the past week. So I'm just trying to, figure my way out. From San Diego, it's very, very different, but just figuring it out.
I bet. Yeah, we went to spring training up in March, and it's pretty hot even then. It was like 85, sometimes 90 with just blazing sun. So crazy heat down in Arizona.
Yeah.
So you obviously a left-handed pitcher coming out of UC San Diego, which is in the Big West Conference. Did you kind of have any sort of idea of what round you would get drafted in, what organizations were interested in you? Talk us through that.
Yeah, so I was a fifth-year grad student, so I didn't really have much ability to kind of say, hey, no, or I'm going to go back to school. So I had a good plethora of teams, about 20, come and let me know, hey, we're going to take you kind of somewhere throughout the draft as a senior sign or in the later rounds. And I had some teams offer day two, but as you know, the senior sign rounds are super discounted, and it was kind of just like, I think I value myself a little bit more. And then Cleveland came in at 18 right at the start of the 18th round, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. It worked great for me, and it was honestly something I was kind of waiting towards to see if an organization like them would throw me an offer.
Well, that's a perfect segue into my next question because, and I'm going to ring your bell and toot your horn a little bit. Let's run through some of the things that you have been recognized with, and this is just last season. 2024 NCBWA Stopper of the Year finalist, 2024 Dick Hauser Trophy semifinalist, 2024 National Pitcher of the Year semifinalist, a two-time All-American, the first Triton to be named so, 2024 NCBWA second perfect game, third team, 2023 Collegiate Baseball third, 2024 ABCA West All-Region second team, and obviously I could go on and on. With a guy that has that many awards on his shelf, is being picked in the 18th round kind of a chip on your shoulder?
I mean, I just kind of take baseball for what it's worth, and I just go day by day. So I feel like my approach to whether I was picked in the 6th, 7th, 8th, if I was in Bazana's shoes 1-1, I think it's the same thing. I'm just grateful for even being considered to get picked up of one of 20 picks, especially coming from, an organ or being picked from an organization like the Guardians. It was a no-brainer. So I'm super thankful.
I love that
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, I mean, leading up into the draft, were there like heavy talks with Cleveland? Like this is where like a lot of interest is coming from, or what was sort of that?
Yeah, so Shirag was the area scout down in Southern California, and he was great. He got to know me. He really cared about who I was as a person, and that really stuck with me. Kind of going through this process where I want to go to an organization that develops their players, but I also want to go to a spot that really cares about their players and who they are and their story. So he did a great job, kind of talking me through the process, and it was great. So it was a really good interest from their end, and even more from my end.
Yeah, and then obviously still touching on the draft. How'd the whole experience go for you? Were you at home with family?
Yeah. I was down with my family. My girlfriend was joining us, so it was honestly a dream. Day one, we got to enjoy the festivities, see all the cool numbers and how all the picks lined out. Day two was a little nerve wracking because I had a couple offers for the earlier rounds, and we turned them down for better opportunities as where I am now. But day three was kind of where reality was starting to set in. My name gets called, and it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. So it was great getting to experience with my family and my girlfriend. So it was incredible.
All right, let's take you back into your college days. Obviously, you said you were a fifth-year guy. You played a lot of college ball, but last season was a huge year for you. I listed off all the awards. Let's run through some of the statistics here. You went 4-3 last season as the primary closer for the Tritons. 1.85 ERA, which is a career low. You posted a career low in a lot of major stat categories across the board. What worked well for you last year?
Yeah, I think we just had a really good dialogue between my coaches and myself. We kind of just worked through the things that worked over the past 4 years. We had a good conversation around how do we embrace who I am as a person, and they honestly just trusted me. So being a part of a staff like that where they trusted me and they trusted who I was as a person really just gave me the confidence to just be who I was and compete and honestly just thrive at whatever level I was able to compete at.
Well, let's take you back into 2023 where the Tritons were conference champions. And obviously, of course, the Guardians playing some really good baseball right now. You're bringing that winning culture from the Tritons here. What was that moment like for you?
Yeah, deep down inside, I'm a winner. So I bring a winning culture, and that's kind of my expectation, looking to be a part of something super soon and contribute to the Guardians organization and bring my fire, my culture to that. I got a good personality when it comes to competing, so I'm very excited. And joining an organization that has some experience with winning and has some experience competing is just cut from the same cloth. So I'm super excited to just continue that trend throughout my career.
Yeah, as Nate said, you guys took home the championship in 2023, first ever Big West championship for the school in general. How big of that for you guys?
Yeah, it was awesome. Coming from UC San Diego is predominantly a research institute, so athletics wasn't too big. However, upon winning that conference championship, we kind of bolstered UC San Diego and amongst the ranks of mid-major baseball, where hey, we are here. We're not a D2 team anymore. So yeah, we're slowly steady climbing the ranks, and I'm excited to see what they do in the next years as they transition to being eligible to make a playoff. Hopefully, they do something cool.
And in that championship series, was there sort of like a drive within the clubhouse, like, or pressure, like, hey, like this could put us on the map for athletics?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just trusted each other and trusted each other's work ethic throughout the entire process. And, that's a big component of who I am as a competitor. I like to, ensure that the individual next to me is also getting better. So we have a general floor that is rising. So we just trusted each other as friends and as competitors. And that kind of just carried us throughout the entire year. It wasn't something that we were looking towards, but it was something that our preparation and our work ethic kind of just allowed us to achieve just because of who we were as a team.
All right, let's take it into the future a little bit here. You said you threw your first bullpen today. What can we see Izaak Martinez throwing here? What sort of the pitch selection look like for you?
Yeah, so I'm kind of an outlier. I kind of have what scouts say an invisible. So my ball comes from a low vertical approach angle, and I have a lot of induced vertical break. So I throw a considerable amount of fastballs. It looks like it has a crazy rise deception. So I threw this past year about 85% fastballs. I work really well up, in, and away. And in today's bullpen, I flashed that fastball. They loved it. Super excited to continuously work and kind of get under their eyes and under their wing. But I also flashed a circle changeup, a curveball that's more of a 12-6, and a slider, that all three of which have been developing as we kind of transition more to either a reliever role where I'm kind of staying at the back end of the games, or transitioning more into getting a bulk of innings kind of in the beginning of the game.
You said that reliever role. In Game 3 of the championship series, they had you go in the last 3 innings to close that game out. Do you like starting games or closing games better, or where do you like fall in that category?
Yeah, I maybe have a handful of starts under my belt as a Triton, and all of which came with some bumps and bruises, but a lot of really good learning opportunities. And what we've kind of discovered was that there was just better options to start games, and I really accepted my role, kind of being an option to win games regardless of the situation. And I really took the closer role by the horns, and really adopted that into who I was as a competitor, and it really just helped flourish who I was, kind of just as I was discovering myself throughout the baseball journey. So whether it's starting or whether it's relieving, I throw a bunch of innings, and I can throw pretty much every day. So whatever they need, I'm ready to do.
My apologies. I had a question set up and I'd forgotten it. So let me see if I can think of something here. But again, probably going to be more of that reliever closer role. You said you threw a bullpen today. What did you work on there? You said you threw a lot of fastballs. They said that they loved it. Are you kind of trying anything new with your pitches? Any grip changes? Anything really with your pitch selection that sort of they're saying, hey, maybe let's try to evolve this as we keep rising the ranks?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, being that I threw a huge clip of fastballs, are my main goal. We haven't really had a conversation around the organization's goal where they're kind of approaching me as a competitor, but my personal goal was, of the past year in summer, was to prevent myself from being a one-dimensional pitcher. So working my off speeds more, allowing me to get into more favorable counts, so then I can just let my fastball, which is, I would say, my best pitch, kind of just do its thing. So kind of take the stress and the workload off of the fastball, and allow the three other pitches to kind of, show some pizzazz sometimes.
Yeah, obviously still being in Arizona. Has there been talks of where or what affiliate you might be starting with? Obviously, being a college guy, you have more experience, might be able to maybe this year start at Lynchburg or maybe even Lake County.
Yeah, I'm excited regardless of where the conversation kind of leads itself. I know with recent moves of the trade deadline, a couple left-handed pitchers unfortunately left, but regardless of where the conversations take me, I'm going to be excited to go. Um, like I mentioned before, there hasn't been kind of a sit down like, hey, this is where the depth chart kind of positions you at, or this is where we're kind of envisioning you. We're still, as a draft class, kind of just going through the onboarding process, but we're just excited to all be here, and just we've been enjoying the work process since being in Arizona.
How's it been down there with all the new draft picks?
It's been awesome meeting guys like Kozar, to guys like Schulke, who I was teammates with in the Cape, all of which have been incredible. Just learning and getting the culture of where they come from, whether they're high schoolers like Dougherty or Oki, or college vets like me and Cam Walty. Kind of just getting a good grasp of where they are as competitors, and really just learning and developing friendships kind of just along the way.
Have you formed any new sort of lifelong best friends with any of the new draft picks yet?
Yeah, so they kind of positioned us with roommates, and I kind of came into crossing with Xavier Martinez, who was at CSUN, then USC. He was a recent signing for the Guardians, and he's my roommate, and we've kind of just been able to get a really good relationship and a really good friendship kind of going. And then along the way, just all the pitchers, we got so many arms, so we're always together. And I think just generally we are all ready to work and all ready to compete and kind of rep the Guardian jersey, and we're just excited to be here as a group.
Final
Yeah.
question for me that I have right now. What's the biggest piece of advice you've gotten? I know it's only been a week since draft day, but have any of your old coaches reached out to you? Any friends or family? What's the best thing that they've said to you to get you ready for this moment?
Yeah, I had a bunch of incredible people reach out. Matt Harvey was my pitching coach down at UC San Diego, and Ryan Bob was our analytics coordinator. And they kind of just said, hey, remember who you are, remember what got you here, and never lose faith of that. So I'm just going to be me. You'll see me. I'm not a imposing figure on the mound, but I pack one hell of a punch. So I'm ready to just work at whatever level they send me to, and I'll be, people will know who I am, especially as I climb up this ladder.
Yeah, backtracking into your high school days, because I always wonder this with every draft pick, is how many college offers did you really have coming out of high school?
I was going to walk on at UCR as an outfielder. I didn't really pitch in high school. I just played outfield, and they're like, hey, you had a really good arm, so get on the mound and see if you can help us win. I pitched in our CIF game and really did well. So ever since then, I was going to walk on at UC Riverside to play outfield, and they just didn't, give me the treatment that I was expecting to as a college athlete, kind of entering Division I baseball. So I kind of pivoted and then got on the mound in front of some good people, made some good connections, and having an academic background, UC San Diego was my dream school. So they offered me. I didn't even know they had a baseball team. Turns out that they were one of the best D2 teams probably in the past couple decades. And they said, hey, you got 3 months to show us whether you'll make our starting roster. And I was like, hey, that's fine. Can I still go to school if you cut me? And they said, yes, of course. So I said, all right, let's do it. I'll give you the best 3 months you got. So I worked hard, ended up being our season opener against Point Loma. And unfortunately, the COVID year kind of cut the season short. But, I worked hard, and the rest has been history. So keeping that kind of work ethic and that drive has been a huge component of my success.
Yeah, and I don't know. Do you have anything left, Nate?
I don't for you. I just want to say welcome to Cleveland. Welcome to the organization. Picking up left-handed pitching is huge for this organization. You are, of course, a very decorated and very talented one. Thank you for your time today. We're excited to have you to the city.
Awesome, guys. I'm super excited to get to work.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.